This is a special presentation of ESPN, home of the college football playoff, semifinals on New Year's Day.
AT&T Stadium. For years, it has featured some of college football's biggest moments. From national championships decided to the grand tradition of this bowl game. We welcome you to the 2020 Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. The first of this New Year's 6 bowls. And over the course of 4 days, it is the best of the best. Tonight, 2 teams who were just flexing their muscles 11 days ago in thrilling conference championship games. The SEC East winners, the 7th-ranked Florida Gators, against the Big 12 champs, number 6, the Oklahoma Sooners. And that means we have star quarterbacks. There is Spencer Rattler, the Sooners' first-year quarterback. And there is Kyle Trask, one of the Heisman finalists, a Texas native back home. Alongside Dusty Dvorak, I'm Joe Tessitore. Greg McElroy, who is normally by my side, is dealing with COVID protocols. Greg, we wish you the best with your health. Dusty, a big theme tonight is stepping up and filling in. Thrilled you're with us.
Joe, holy moly, am I excited to be here with you tonight.
It pays the bills, my friend.
No doubt.
We've got big-time talent on the field tonight. However, one of the big stories developing in the last 24 hours, opt-outs. Holly Rowe going to be along in moments to give us the latest with that. But as for who is here, Dusty, Kyle Trask. I mean, this guy had a season that rivals some of the great seasons in Florida history.
He waited his time, he put in the work, and man, did it pay dividends. I love his size, 6'5", 240 pounds, stands strong in the pocket. It's his accuracy, his decision-making that has him as one of the 4 Heisman finalists, a fantastic senior season, and I can't wait to see what's in store in his final time to wear a Gator uniform tonight.
And on the other side is Spencer Rattler, and this young man, folks, he was the #1 overall quarterback recruit in the country a few years ago, and he is living up to the hype.
There's no doubt. It was a slow start to the season for him. First couple of games in Big 12 play, he made some mistakes. Actually got benched in the first half against Texas, that 3rd game. And since then, it's been growth, maturity, and the arm talent is off the charts. This young man can make every throw and get him outside the pocket. Look out, he is lethally accurate with the football.
Listen, we know the criticism in recent years of Oklahoma. You point the finger at the defense. Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Year 2 of Alex Grinch, and this defense is how they're winning football games now. And it starts up front with one of the best defensive lines the Sooners have had in over a decade. Ronnie Perkins, as you see, is there. And all these guys, the movement, the penetration, the disruption they create has been the catalyst to an outstanding season on the defensive side.
Now, as for the big news that has been developing leading up to this game, Holly Rowe, get us set with the realities of what we're dealing with. Good evening to you.
Well, good evening, guys. There are some players missing for Florida. In fact, quite a few. There's about 60 scholarship players available. 9 starters are out after 7 guys decided to opt out and focus on their NFL future, while 6 others are unavailable due to COVID or other injury situations. Guys, there are young players, though, who are hungry for this chance tonight. Dan Mullen said, our future is now. The Florida future can be dynamic tonight. They are looking for young guys, particularly in the wide receiving room, to be exciting and be dynamic. Look for number 3, Xavier Henderson. Kyle Trask is here. He's going to elevate these young receivers.
Opportunity. It's a great thing for so many players tonight. Now, Dusty, 2020 has been a wild ride for both teams, and for the Gators, it was evident right from the start they were going to be dangerous with their offensive weapons.
One of the most prolific offenses in all of college football, the best passing attack. You've seen 3 narrow margin losses, but Dan Mullen in year 3 has the Gators back in the SEC title game this year.
Dan Mullen had a great visit with us yesterday. He was reflecting on the year, saying amazing that this is going to be game 12 here and their 4th top 10 opponent. As for the Sooners, now they didn't have their full roster of stars available early on, and it cost them with a couple of early losses.
It was a slow start, especially in Big 12 play. 1-2 start of the season, 0-2 in Big 12 play, but they finished up as strong as anybody in college football and claimed their 6th straight Big 12 title.
And Lincoln Riley, 4th year, 3 straight playoff appearances, and now a chance for this bowl win. Now with their Oklahoma coach has had as many wins in their 4th year leading the Sooners as Lincoln Riley has had. Oklahoma wins the toss. They elect to receive. Charleston Rambo is back for the McPherson kickoff. They're allowing for nearly 18,000 to attend this Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic here at AT&T Stadium. And Rambo on the return as the coverage unit able to corral him just around the 20-yard line. So say hello to Spencer Rattler, and we talked about the tremendous season of growth. Choppy to start the year, dealt with the turnovers early on, took a quick breather against Texas, and now a record-setting first-year quarterback and a Big 12 champion.
And I thought the best game of his season in the Big 12 championship, he was sharp, he was focused, and displaying that moxie, now a championship quarterback in just his freshman season.
Stevenson, the running back, and he'll get the early work as he takes it ahead for 4.5 yards. He led the way against Iowa State in the Big 12 championship with 97 rushing yards.
And really this offense changed once he got back on the roster. Big bruising back, and really has opened up this rushing attack for Lincoln Riley.
First pass of the game and complete to Rambo for a chunk play for the Sooners. Charleston Rambo, the junior from Cedar Hill, Texas.
A lot of cushion being played there by the safety, Donovan Steiner. Just a simple hitch route. Quarterback Spencer Rattler identifies the off coverage, easy pitch and catch, and Charleston Rambo with a nice pickup after the catch.
26 yards, 16 yards after the catch for Rambo. Stevenson. More running room off the left side, and the Sooners, here they go with this offense that has found its stride. Ramondre Stevenson, the big burly senior from Vegas.
Well, this is their favorite rushing attack. It's going to be their counter. They're going to pull both guard and tackle from the backside. The bread and butter of this offense for Lincoln Riley. You got offensive linemen getting to the second level. Nice block there on Diabate, and a big hole on the perimeter for Stevenson.
Well, we've seen a lot of this from the Sooners this year. Fast starts. And Stevenson with a spin move inside the 30. Dusty, they have outscored their opponents 134-17 in the first quarter this season.
It's great game planning by Lincoln Riley. He does such a good job opening up games, understanding what he's going to get defensively, and putting together a picture-perfect start to games each and every week. It's quite remarkable to watch throughout the course of the season.
After a 6-yard run by Stevenson, Rattler, a little bit of pressure as he launches it downfield. Touchdown, Sooners, the breakout freshman, Marvin Mims. 27-yard touchdown, Rattler to Mims, and Rattler stood in there tough.
Well, Lincoln Riley told us this week they thought they had a special player in Marvin Mims, but not this special. You see him working out of the slot, uncovered. Steiner again, given too much space, and Spencer Rattler, nice find, nice throw, quick touchdown for the Sooners.
9 touchdown catches on the year for Marvin Mims from Frisco, Texas. Comes back to the DFW area and does that to open up this Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Takes a shot to the end zone. That's a Gators touchdown.
Spencer Rattler looks very sharp.
Rattler keeps and waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown.
That's Mims going up and making an acrobatic catch.
Joe, Dusty, and Holly with you here. Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, 7-0 because of that tandem for the Sooners, Rattler and Mims. Take us through it, Dusty. The damage that they've done.
Well, Donovan Steiner is not in good position. Look right here. You just see Mims, and he's just going to work right here, and it's perfectly identified by Spencer Rattler. Pressure by Bernie in his face, stands strong in the pocket, and delivers an absolute dime over the shoulder. Too much room, safety couldn't get back. Easy pitch and catch from Rattler to Mims.
Marvin Mims, who broke the Oklahoma freshman touchdown catch record this year. And now here comes the Heisman finalist, Kyle Trask. Damian Pierce in the backfield to start things off for the Gators. Now the top 4 pass catchers not in action, and he goes to Justin Shorter right away. We expect Shorter to be a big part of the weaponry tonight. Kyle Trask led the nation with 43 touchdown passes.
Love his pocket presence, man. He stands strong in the pocket, goes through his progressions, and he finds the open man time and time again.
He did so to Shorter for 13 yards. Goes to the near side, and it is picked off. Norwood, pick 6. Trey Norwood takes it back.
Wow, what a start for the Sooners. Coming into this game, Trey Norwood had 4 interceptions in his last 5 games, make it 5 out of 6. Watch Trask stare down his intended target, and Trey Norwood, eyes on the quarterback, steps in front and strolls in the end zone for a second quick Sooner touchdown.
Remember, only 5 interceptions thrown all season by Trask. And on his second throw of this Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, Trey Norwood houses it. His 5th of the season. And the young Spencer Rattler is saying, we got energy early. 14-zip Sooners.
This is the new iPhone 12.
Dos Equis, a most interesting beer.
The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. AT&T 5G. And Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
Speaking of being driven, this is the sign of 2020 being not normal. The sanitation of the field about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It took about an hour, and they thoroughly sanitized this entire building. But guys, I can tell you what is normal. Oklahoma feeling right at home here, where they just won a Big 12 championship, and they've already gone up 14-0.
Absolutely. Just 11 days ago, they defeated Iowa State to take the Big 12. Touchdown early on here against the Gators. You know, it's interesting, we mentioned who's not playing for Florida. Grimes, Tony, Copeland, Pitts, top 4 receivers. The intended target there, Dusty, was Rick Wells. Now, Rick Wells only has 6 catches on the year.
5th-year senior, it's a night for opportunity for him and so many other guys. And if you're Kyle Trask right now, the one thing about him, Brian Johnson had told us, he's even keel. He can allow that play to go to the wayside, stay confident, stay with the game plan, and big possession here for Florida and Kyle Trask.
All right, so first play after throwing the pick 6, it is Pierce, and Pierce is wrapped up and sent back by that front 7 for the Sooners. Take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players.
We've already seen for Florida, Justin Shorter, the wide receiver, at 6'5". He is a mismatch outside. He needs to have a big night. And Ronnie Perkins, so disruptive, so productive, and the emotional leader of this Sooner defense.
His first 5 games dating back to a suspension. He has been sensational in his return. 2nd and 6. Pierce again, and this time driven back by Brian Asamoah. And this is the difference with this Oklahoma defense led by the coordinator Alex Grinch, his 2nd year after coming over from Ohio State.
One of the best run-stopping defenses in all of college football, giving up right around 90 yards a game. They penetrate, they're disruptive, and they're setting up 3rd and long situation for the quarterback, Kyle Trask.
Number 1 run defense in the Big 12. 3rd and 7. Pierce split out, empty look for Trask. Four-man rush, Trask over the middle and gets it complete to Rick Wells, senior from Jacksonville.
Really good protection by the Florida offensive line. Plenty of time for Kyle Trask to stand strong in the pocket, navigate, locate the open receiver over the middle of the field.
10-yard reception there. Pierce comes back to flank Trask on first down. Trask, another first down toss. As he goes to Zipperer, Keon Zipperer, one of the two tight ends filling in for Kyle Pitts, the All-America, who is headed off to the NFL.
And right here, Zipperer uses his body to work against a defender, works himself open, an easy pitch and catch for Kyle Trask. And with those tight ends, they played a lot this year and productive when Kyle Pitts was out of the lineup.
13-yard reception for Zipperer. Now sprint right and then a little slip to Zipperer. Well-designed play as he lowers the shoulder and goes ahead for 10.5 yards.
He sold this so well. Sells it. He's blocking initially. Excellent job drawing the defender. You see him right here. Hold tight on it as if he's blocking the defensive end. And then releases out last second. A nice find by Kyle Trask. Nice response here after the pick six in this second drive.
Awkward handoff there, but Pierce makes the most of it as he works his way to the 32-yard line. Nick Benito with the tackle.
We've seen this Florida offense go away from the run game at times and really lock in throwing the football. Down some of their weapons, I think it's imperative that they establish a line of scrimmage, run the football, and take a little of that pressure off of Kyle Trask and these young receivers.
Florida led the nation passing yards this year, came in at 388 per game. 2nd and 5. Trask. That ball is intercepted. Deflected and intercepted by Asamoah. And now on the return, and Kyle Trask, the Heisman finalist, has thrown 2 interceptions this early in the first quarter.
Yeah, and this is one Kyle Trask wishes he had back. Kamari Gamble, he is open in the middle of the field, throws it high and behind his intended target. Used to throw into the 6'6" Kyle Pitts, and it's Gamble unable to bring it in. Ball's in the air, the old tip drill, and Brian Asamoah, right place, right time for the second Sooner takeaway in as many drives. Rough start for Kyle Trask here tonight.
See him shaking his head. Dan Mullen was talking about how much he appreciated his attitude in the lead up to this game, knowing who wasn't with him tonight. Here they are down 2 touchdowns, and now Oklahoma back with the ball. And Stevenson patiently looking for something. Spins free. Ramondre Stevenson, a stiff arm for something extra. The big back goes for 22 yards.
Well, it's the counter once again. Again, the bread and butter of this Oklahoma offense, but now you're seeing Ramondre Stevenson and what he's able to do. A little spin move to work outside, and the strength in the stiff arm to close it out.
A bit of tempo. He's once again able to bounce it, find the hole, and make his way down to the 26-yard line. Todd Grantham, defensive coordinator. A lot of speculation about his job security. They gave up over 28 points per game, did Florida. That's the most they've given up in 74 years of this tradition-rich program. 2nd and 2. Rattler. And he will throw this away.
Pass is legal. Number 29 is in the area. 3rd down.
Yeah, and the frustration starting to boil over. You see Todd Grantham earlier on the sidelines getting in the face of his players, trying to ignite them, motivate them, and it's been a frustrating year for who I think is an outstanding defensive coordinator. Things haven't gone quite their way, and as he told me previously, there's a Gator standard here. That's to be a top 10 defense, and they've fallen far short throughout the course of the season.
3rd down and 2.
Loves to bring pressure in these type of situations.
Rattler, quick strike, and it's incomplete. It was off the hands of the freshman West.
Well, imagine Lincoln Riley going to go for it here. No, he's going to let the kick the field goal, get points, try to get points after the takeaway. It's a good job by the Florida defense after a couple of giving up a few big runs. Bow their necks and come up with a stop, force this field goal attempt.
Gabe Burkich is on course to set the Sooners' all-time mark for field goal percentage. He has made over 85% of his career field goals. 43-yard attempt for Burkich. Good lift and splits it. Don't blink. All of a sudden, it's 17-0. 2 picks thrown by Kyle Trask. And the Sooners having it their way early on here in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
Bowl 24 keeping it real with Damian.
Find new roads.
Oklahoma scored 17 points in 3 minutes and 16 seconds of action. We told you the fast starts that they put forth. 17-0 here at AT&T. Trask some early interceptions. 5 all year. He's thrown 2 here in 2 possessions. Shorter thought about taking it out, and he does after hesitating. He took a big hit in doing so, and a flag is down. New kick returner, new punt returner as well for Florida tonight. Kadarius Toney, Jacob Copeland, both not able to go. Toney opting out for the NFL draft.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block, receiving team number 9. Half the distance from the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
That kind of start, isn't it? Holly, the Florida offense looks to currently be in the pits without Kyle Pitts.
Well, guys, everybody understands his decision, a potential top 5 draft pick, but he had a special message for his team that he sent us tonight.
What's up, y'all? I'm sending my prayers and all my good luck energy down to Arlington, Texas for you guys, for the seniors. In this season out with a bang, for the young guys to embrace the opportunity that's, with you being able to play a bowl game, everyone gets to play. I hope everybody has bringing in the new year the right way with a win and bringing that trophy back to Gainesville. Go Gators.
Wishes for the top tight end.
Passes legal number 88 is in the area, second down.
As Trask was dealing with more pressure and more disruption from his own end zone. That was LaRon Stokes coming in on him. Kyle Pitts, 12 touchdowns this year.
Like the cheat code, Joe.
Now Emory Jones comes in to play quarterback for Florida. A redshirt sophomore, very good runner. Came in early in the SEC championship game and had a design run. And that is what he will do here. And sparking things a bit is Emory Jones as he surges ahead for the first down for the Gators.
Love the quarterback counter when he's in the game. His vision, acceleration, elite as a runner, and likely the future quarterback for the Florida Gators. Adds an element that's so difficult to deal with as a defense.
This is now Davis. Davis struggling to find much there with big Perion Winfrey and Brian Asamoah, who had the interception moments ago. Perion Winfrey has been a very good force on the interior of this Oklahoma defense. He was a highly recruited JUCO transfer.
Disruptive, penetrator, key cog in the middle of that defense for defensive line coach Calvin Thibodeau, who's gotten this line to play at an extremely high level this year.
Davis with time on second down, a shot downfield, and it's complete. That is Trent Whittemore making the effort to the outside. The 6'4" redshirt freshman, good body control there.
Back shoulder throw by Emory Jones. Nice adjustment on the football by Whittemore. Had a nice start to the season, was injured against Arkansas, broken rib, punctured lung. He's back, he's healthy, and a big play down the field.
25-yard reception for Whittemore. The Heisman finalist comes out. The backup Emory Jones comes in, and all of a sudden Florida's finding a little bit of something. Malik Davis will cross midfield. Want to remind you, college football playoff semifinals coming your way New Year's Day on ESPN and on the ESPN app. And, of course, #1 Alabama taking on #4 Notre Dame in the Rose Bowl presented by Capital One. That's 4 o'clock right here on this field. And then Clemson and Ohio State in the All-State Sugar Bowl National Championship coming your way on Monday, January 11th. Trask back in. 2nd and 6. And Trask will get it complete. And again, it's Whittemore. So Jones comes in, runs for a first down, has the downfield completion. Trask now comes out as they're platooning on this drive and goes 22 yards to Whittemore. And now, interestingly, Anthony Richardson, #2, the true freshman quarterback, is also in with Emory Jones. Could be a trick play scenario here, Dusty?
No question. They told us a little bit of gadget. They showed it against Alabama and looked to feature it again once tonight. Maybe a double pass here.
So watch the slot near side for Anthony Richardson. They get the look of it, but instead a strike over the middle, and that was well defensed by Asamoah, who got his hand up in the passing lane.
Boy, Emory Jones fortunate not to have the 3rd interception here early in this game for Florida. Stares down his receiver, throws it right to Brian Asamoah, gets in the throwing lane and misses his 2nd interception of the night. Mistake by Emory Jones on first down.
Now Trask comes back in. 2nd and 10. Man rush. Trask steps up in the pocket and will have the first down as he goes to Weston. Jamarcus Weston with his first catch. He's been playing special teams, but with Copeland and Tony and Grimes all out, you're going to see many of these young guys.
As you mentioned, Joe, stepping up in the pocket. That's what he does so well that translates to the next level. And against him, you don't need edge pressure. You need pressure right in the middle in his face. Nice job by Kyle Trask.
Good response drive by Florida here. Davis trying to find something. Instead, he sees David Ugwebu, a sophomore linebacker. He's got great athleticism. He comes up with the tackle.
Great size, too, Joe. 6'4", 250 pounds. He was at the line of scrimmage, jack linebacker for them last year. That rush backer that they have and moved to second level has really helped improve this defense.
2nd and 8. Trask. Wobbler to the end zone, and he throws his 3rd pick of the first quarter. Woody Washington swipes it.
The ruling on the field is the pass was intercepted in the end zone. The result of the play is a touchback. Timeout on the field.
The quarterback with the statistical superlatives that dazzled all year long. The guy who led the nation with 43 touchdown passes, framed against only 5 interceptions. Picked off again.
On a high-stakes Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Now playing on Pandora.
Dusty, that is Kyle Trask's first career 3-interception game, and it happens in the first quarter.
Nightmarish start for the senior Kyle Trask.
Just when they were driving and hoping to find something, instead it's back to business with Stevenson and the Sooners.
Number 29 of the offense, helmet came off through play. He may not participate in the next down.
And it's
timeout for an injured player of the offense.
Nick Benito with an inside move who hit the arm of Kyle Trask. As you saw that hand, the ball come out of his hand funny, and he missed a wide open Jamarcus Weston in the end zone. The frustration mounts for the quarterback, Kyle Trask.
And right now, the medical team for Oklahoma is out on the field. They're looking at Marquise Haynes, the starting left guard. Let's go down to the field to Holly.
Well, guys, I've been observing Kyle Trask very closely after the interceptions. The first 2, you know, he kind of had a smile on his face like, oh, man, like what a way to start. He was really good-natured about it, very even-keeled. But after that 3rd interception, he just came to the sideline, and he is frustrated. He had a long conversation with Dan Mullen. You can tell he is just trying to get it back together right now. Keep in mind, it's been a very quick turnover, 10 days since they last played, with a completely new receiving core that he's having to work with tonight. Big turnaround for him. He's got to get it back together.
Timing is off. Frustration is mounting. And you're exactly right, Holly. He's going to have to get his confidence back, and it's tough now in a hole 17-0, and he hasn't been here before. 3 interceptions early on in this first quarter, Joe.
Well, and doesn't have the key pieces to lean on. When you say timing, there's another side, the cohesive nature of timing. You got to have the guy you're used to throwing to, and his top 4 targets are out. Of course, number 1 Alabama, number 4 Notre Dame will be coming your way on New Year's Day. That is the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One. It will take place right here at AT&T Stadium. First time since 1942 that the Rose Bowl is in Pasadena. Who's missing for Florida? You take away all the weaponry and big targets. You got the first-team All-America tight end. The guy will almost assuredly be the first tight end taken in the NFL drive, and Grimes and Copeland. And how about what Kadarius Toney turned into this year, Dustin?
He's been fantastic. He's the guy they move around to create the mismatches and matchups that they want. Get him the football in a variety of ways. Kyle Pitts, we talked about, at 6'6", his catch radius, and Brian Johnson had described him as a unicorn. Trayvon Grimes as well at 6'4", can flat out go up and get any 50-50 ball. Those pass catchers make Kyle Trask right even when he's wrong at times, and unfortunately he doesn't have them here this evening.
You know, specifically Toney. Toney's a guy who's good with yards after the catch. Number 7 nationally in YAC, and Oklahoma top 10 in giving up yards after the catch. Marcus Major will go ahead for a first down. Major, the redshirt freshman from Millwood High School up in Oklahoma City.
This offensive line getting a lot of push at the line of scrimmage here early in this football game. Some easy big chunk runs early.
Rattler with time, looking over his options, and a track down, and the ball is out and is recovered by the Gators. It was Bogle who forced it.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Florida.
And then Trey Dean recovers it.
It's an excellent pursuit to the quarterback. And one thing about Spencer Rattler, keeps his eyes down the field and looks to scrambles and looks to throw at the football. And Bogle retraces steps. Big hit on the quarterback. Ball's out. And Trey Dean's on top of it. Exactly what this Gator defense needed.
You see Rattler looking up at the big jumbo here at AT&T Stadium and saying, where'd that guy come from?
He didn't feel him, Joe. He didn't feel that pressure coming from the backside. Heads up play by Chris Bogle with a big hit on Spencer Rattler.
And now Florida down 17, and they cash in. As Trask quickly gets it that time to Shorter. And Shorter will have 9 yards on the catch. Big play by Bogle. See if he can spark things. It's been a disastrous first quarter to this point for Florida.
Like the quarterback run game in spots like this with Trask.
2nd and 1. Wells orbit motion behind Trask here as they keep it on the ground with Wright. And Wright will move the chains for the Gators.
Kind of a 3-headed monster running back for Florida. You see Pierce, Malik Davis, and there's Naquan Wright. Smaller of the 3 backs. Really good quickness. A little crease there off the left side to move the chains.
Naquan Wright went to Miami Carroll City High, 5'9", under 200-pounder. Trask with protection this time, and there's Gamble, the tight end, and Gamble will have a first down for Florida.
On a zone coverage being played right now by the Oklahoma Sooners, and you're seeing these Florida pass catchers just sitting down in the soft spots in the zone, and Kyle Trask locating his targets here on this drive.
13-yard catch by Gamble, so it's 1st and goal for the Gators. Trask, inside screen Wells, and he makes his way to the 6-yard line. And Fields with the tackle.
Up near the 6-yard line.
Rattler, first-year quarterback for Oklahoma, just fumbled it away. So they're desperate to get on the board here, try to find something early on. Interception first quarter for Trask. Now running it and finding Ronnie Perkins waiting on it.
Love quarterback run game in the red zone, well defensed by the Oklahoma front, not giving an inch and changing the line of scrimmage. Nowhere for Trask to go with the football.
72% of their trips in the red zone have finished with touchdowns this season. 3rd down and goal. Trask is going to run it on 3rd and goal. Didn't have a chance. Webu came in darting against Kyle Trask.
Clearly 4-down territory. No, I guess not. They're going to kick the field goal.
What do you make of that play call there, Dusty?
Surprised. Back-to-back quarterback counters with Kyle Trask. I mean, it's a part of their offense, as we just mentioned, but you feel like if you're going to run that on back-to-back plays, you're going to utilize 4 down. Surprised by the play calling from Dan Mullen. Conservative, the senior quarterback.
Evan McPherson comes in for just a 21-yard attempt. And the goose egg is gone. They take the fumble recovery and they turn it into 3.
Got to cash in to get points in that spot. I understand that Kyle Trask has thrown 3 interceptions, protecting them a little bit, but uber conservative.
Florida, a total of 2 turnovers in the first quarter of games this season in 11 games. 3 in the first quarter alone here tonight.
Trey Norwood just flat out making a play on that one. This pass behind his intended target. Brian Asamoah, the recipient of the ball, hitting him in the hands, and a good rush by Nick Benito deflects the pass as it is released from Trask's hand, and Woody Washington gets the easy interception.
And to think it's Kyle Trask that has thrown the 3 interceptions. Last time that any team had 3 interceptions in the first quarter of a bowl game, not even New Year's Six, just any bowl game. Utah back in 2015, Vegas Bowl against BYU, and it happens tonight with a Heisman finalist.
This was an issue for the Oklahoma defense last season, and early on this season, they weren't creating those turnovers Alex Grinch wanted. They've been getting them lately, and obviously here tonight.
Boots it. Just the 2nd meeting ever between these power programs. Of course, you remember back in January of 09, BCS National Championship game. Gators got the best of them. #1 Oklahoma down there in Miami that night. Holly?
Well, guys, Spencer Rattler, the thing he's done well this second half of the season is not turn it over. That timeout that he had against Texas after his 2nd straight turnover in the game has served him well. Since that time, he had 5 interceptions, 5 turnovers before. He's only had 2 interceptions and no fumbles until tonight since. He has learned ball security. He's matured in that regard. Let's see how he responds after his first fumble.
There's Major, bounces to the outside, slips past the would-be tackler, breaks 2 more tackles. Good effort from Marcus Major.
Back to the bread and butter, simple counter play, pull backside guard and wing, get out in front, and a nice piece of running the open field. Balance from the redshirt freshman Marcus Major.
Rattler, play action. Look at the time he has. He's going to take a shot downfield, wants all of it, and nearly gets it with Rambo. But play action is how Spencer Rattler likes to dial it up. He has 18 touchdown passes off of play action. That's #1 nationally. 17-3 Oklahoma. The defense doing their job with the 3 picks. A 2-touchdown lead for the Sooners here at the end of 1 in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Glad you're with us here, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Oklahoma 17-3 on top of Florida, start of the 2nd quarter. Joe Tessitore alongside Dusty Dvorak and Javi Rowe. You know all about the recent postseasons for Oklahoma, making the last 3 college football playoff games. This a game that you would think, Dusty, is critical when it comes to program perception. Rattler on 2nd down, another shot downfield, and incomplete again, as Theo Reese was the intended target. But in terms of program perception, and here you are against a Florida team where the roster's somewhat gutted, people are expecting you to go out and lay down the hammer.
That's exactly right. Look, this is a prime-time, out-of-conference matchup that Lincoln Riley told us himself is very important, as we see the replay there. Jaden Hill getting that arm in, knocking it away on the deep shot. And here's the thing, Lincoln Riley 0-3 in the postseason. Now, that was playoff games, 0-3 against the SEC. They circled this game, and they made it an importance for a springboard opportunity in the next season.
We're down in 10. Flag is down as Rattler goes to the near side, incomplete, to the left of Marvin Mims.
Offside in the neutral zone at the snap, defense number 10. 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
Holly, we haven't seen Austin Stogner in a while. The very talented tight end is out there for Oklahoma now.
That's right. They didn't think he would play tonight after the most bizarre injury. He got hit in the quad against Kansas, and that quad then got infected. They said he had strep that went down into his quad. He had to have surgery to remove the infection. He was just out on the last play. That's a big get for him to be back.
They're down at 5. Pressure on Rattler, and they're able to get to him. Bogle cleaned it up. Dante Lang came in.
And a botch protection off the left side. You're going to see Lang just come right here off the edge. And 77 Swinson, he bumps down inside. Nobody stays. He picks up the blitzer and leaves a man laying off the edge free. Spencer Rattler's going to have to identify that, see that. Nice job by Todd Grantham, dialing it up and getting off the field on 3rd down.
That's Xavier Henderson, the freshman punt returner. New returners for Florida tonight with all the opt-outs. So he's put into action. He corrals the fair catch at about the 12-yard line. Glad you're with us here for the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Joe and Dusty upstairs, Holly Road down on the field. A reminder, when you tally everything up, I mean, we were putting together our boards in preparation for this game. You just red X's everywhere. You're replacing players. You got some scout teamers, some freshmen that haven't seen the field all of a sudden pressed into action. So they're at about 60 scholarship players, and top 4 pass catchers out of action for Florida. Trask. Too high that time for the intended target. Gamble, of course, one of those top 4 is his favorite target, Kyle Pitts. All right, Dusty, what's the answer here for this Florida offense?
They're going to have to get the ground game going. We haven't seen them run the football very effectively. I think if they can take some pressure off, get Oklahoma to load up to try to stop this run, will open up some things down the field for these inexperienced pass catchers.
2nd down and 10. Davis shifts back to flank Trask. Trask from inside his 5-yard line drives the ball, and it's incomplete. Gamble couldn't hold on to it. It'll be 3rd and 10. Gene Witter had coverage on Kamari Gamble.
The disparity in throwing and rushing yards this season for the Florida Gators, most prolific passing attack in all of college football.
3rd and 10. And the rush. Trask gets it complete, and right at that line to gain is Zipperer.
Excellent awareness of where he was on the field. Makes the catch, gets north and south right now just enough to move the sticks and keep this drive alive. Strong hands going up and catching that football as well.
Well, strong hands of Pitts, though, are missed. I mean, what he did against Alabama, going for 122 yards, had the touchdown to pull them within a score. And once again, going to Zipperer, the tight end. It looks like he's going to try to lean on Gamble and Zipperer a bit here. I think all the production that isn't here for Trask, and that's why Mullen said, hey, I just love his attitude this week. I love his approach and his competitive spirit, knowing what he's in store for, wants to play ball, wants to get out there and take on this challenge against Oklahoma. Greatly improved defense over the past year. 2nd and 6 to the outside, and he connects with Malik Davis. Now finding a rhythm. Reminder, Monday, January 11th at 8 Eastern on ESPN. It will be the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. Bama and Notre Dame, Clemson and Ohio State, and we will get to the two on Monday the 11th. Emory Jones in at quarterback. All three quarterbacks have been on the field already. Swing pass out of the backfield, Pierce. Pierce utilizing the blocks well, and Pierce takes it past midfield for the Gators.
Goes down as a pass, but that's just an extension of the run. Getting their running backs out in space, forcing Oklahoma to tackle on the perimeter, on the edges. Nice play call by Dan Mullen. Good blocking on the edge, and a quality pickup by Dameon Pierce.
Jones remains in at quarterback. Pierce, nothing happening there at all. Corey Roberson with the tackle. Right on it.
They do so much movement at the line of scrimmage. You know, twist games and really make the offensive lines work. There, Corey Roberson fitting over the top of the defensive tackle. He frees up, and a nice tackle for loss.
Second and 11.
Quarterback run game when they go empty.
Let's see if that's the case here with Emory Jones. Very talented runner, and that is what he does. Finds a seam, and he works his way inside the 40-yard line. Total change of pace quarterback. We have packages for him, specifically for him, all year long. And Dusty, this is a guy that everybody was in on. He was a big recruit when he came out of Heard County High School. Ohio State was in on him, Auburn, Bama, Florida State, and he headed to Florida. Many thought he would be the future of the program, but as Trask did himself waiting his turn, now Jones does the same.
Puts an immense amount of pressure on the defense with his explosiveness as a runner.
3rd and 3. Jones running again, well blocked. And as you saw, he had big Stuart Reese, the 350-pounder, paving the way for him. And it's a first down with a 7-yard run from Emory Jones.
Well, you're exactly right. Stuart Reese gets up on a linebacker, Aguebu, and he helps pave the path for yet another first down.
How'd you like to see 6'6", 350 pulling right out?
That's a big man, Joe. That's a big man.
Jones. And he's able to get this ball complete to Rick Wells. 17-3 Oklahoma. 3 interceptions thrown by the Heisman finalist Kyle Trask. 1 returned for a pick six. This Oklahoma defense, they've been doing their jobs. You think about over the past 4 games, they've held their opponents to a combined 57 points. Florida sitting here with 3. Fake the run, passes it downfield to the end zone, and Jones took a big hit as he was looking for Xavier Henderson downfield. It was Ronnie Perkins coming in on Jones, Dusty.
Yeah, nice inside move by Ronnie Perkins. Makes a big hit on Emory Jones. They faked the quarterback run game. He wanted to take his shot in the end zone, and he paid the price. Ronnie Perkins, one of our impact players to start the game, with a big shot.
3rd down and 5.
Playbook's wide open here. You can go quarterback run game. And Malik Davis in the backfield, excellent pass catcher as a running back. You see him split out. They love to throw him the football.
4-man rush against Jones with time, and it's a first down for Florida and something extra for Xavier Henderson, the younger brother of the recent Gator star cornerback C.J. Henderson, who was a top 10 NFL draft pick.
And maybe an image of the future with Emory Jones throwing the football to the true freshman Xavier Henderson. Nice job getting open and a very confident throw from Emory Jones. All of a sudden, a quality drive here by the Gators.
Yeah, that is keeping Spencer Rattler, who you just saw, anxious and on the sideline, which is just what they need. Jones wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage that time by Nick Bonito, who chops him down. You see Kyle Trask supporting Jones as they convert and move the chains there. He's had a great attitude. Jones and Richardson, the 3rd string quarterback, in now for Florida. Saw this earlier. There is the freshman quarterback, big recruit himself, and a timeout is going to be used
Oklahoma, their first of
by
the half.
Oklahoma. Florida on the go. See what they can come up with when we come back to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
Our members are the mission.
Can't wait for New Year's Day, and at noon Eastern on ESPN, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl will get college football started. Number 9 Georgia against number 8 Cincinnati. Undefeated Cincinnati. Luke Fickell and the Bearcats. Now you want to talk about the chance to make a statement the way this Georgia team is playing? No doubt. With JT Daniels at quarterback. And right now it's Emory Jones at quarterback. 14th play of this drive. Rick Wells inside the 10. And it'll be 1st and goal Gators. So this is the kind of drive they've been looking for. 5.5 minutes, 15 plays coming up, and in action to score.
Well, watch this right here. Watch the big guys. Garage getting out front. Heggie getting out front. Wide receiver screen, but it's the big guys securing the blocks and setting up the big play.
Jones, 1st and goal to the end zone. Threw it to the inside and behind Henderson.
And the point you made is exactly right. This drive, obviously effective, hopefully for Florida can result in points, but it's keeping Spencer Rattler and that Oklahoma offense on the sidelines, allowing Todd Grantham's defense to get rest, get together, and when they take the field, try to get another stop. Key here that Florida can punch it in for 6. I'd expect quarterback run game with Emory Jones in the game.
That's what you get on 2nd and goal, and with it, a Gators touchdown. A much-needed Gators touchdown. 16-play, 88-yard drive, and Emory Jones with the 1-yard touchdown run.
Exactly what this Florida offense and Florida football team needed to get back in this game. Job of tough running, allowing his blocks to set up, running through an arm tackle, and finding pay dirt for the first Gator touchdown of the night.
Get used to Emory Jones doing that, Florida fans. This is a team with a lot of young talent, and he's expected to lead the way in the coming years. They were down 17-zip. They closed the gap. Just a touchdown game. Jones puts it in, and the Heisman finalist says, "Let's go."
I don't know why I can't come with you.
The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, brought to you by Taco Bell's Nacho Fries and Capital One. What's in your wallet?
You think Dan Mullen had a little bit of fun coaching the Gators this year? A lot of people said there wasn't a lot of fun getting through the season. It was taxing. It was exhausting. You see him with Coach P there, the legendary Paul Pasqualoni, who's a special assistant to Coach Mullen. But somewhere along the way, it went like WWE heel turn for Dan Mullen, and the Gator fans couldn't get enough.
A little wild and crazy this year for Dan Mullen. Some brawls going on, jumping in the stands. A crazy year all the way around.
Here's Rambo on the return as the coverage unit keeps him just short of that 20-yard line. The 88-yard drive to close it to a touchdown margin. OU sitting there, they're probably prepping for the passing game of Kyle Trask, and they got a big dose of Emory Jones in the QB run game.
Well, you know, coming in Emory Jones is a changeup. They use him, you know, for a handful of plays throughout the course of the game, but an entire drive, and it looked pretty clear to me, gave the Oklahoma defense a lot of problems with Emory Jones in the game. We'll see when the Florida offense comes back on the field if they go back to Trask or they stick with Jones.
Remember, nearly used 6 minutes of clock there, so Rattler and company weren't in action. And now back to Ramondre Stevenson. Holly.
You talked about the hard work Emory Jones did on that lengthy drive, and guys, he did a lot. He actually lost his lunch after that was seen to by the athletic trainers. He's working hard over there.
Short pitch, Stevenson on 2nd and 6, and it'll be 3rd and a long one. Oh, it's a fumble. Florida came up with the ball. Florida came away with it. At the
ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down.
Stevenson coughed it up, and Elam, the cornerback, came away with it.
Wow, mass Massive, massive takeaway for the Florida defense. The question is, was that elbow down as he went to the turf before the ball came out?
Let's take a look here, see what we got.
Out. Looks like it's out, Joe.
Let's bring in our rules expert, John Perry, 3-time Super Bowl official. John, you feel like you got a clear look here?
Well, the whole goal here is it clear and obvious that it's something else? Right now, I would say you'd stick with this ruling of a fumble, change of possession, and change the game.
So Trask comes in off of the fumble recovery, and Pierce will take it ahead. And now Florida energized as Pierce goes ahead for 11 yards. Chance to tie this. This thing looked like it was going sideways. And now Florida with a chance to tie it up here in the second.
Starting to run the football more effectively. Outstanding vision and cutback for a nice pickup.
Kyle Trask, play action, quick out as he goes to Jaquavian Frazier, the freshman. You know, Frazier, another one of these guys that's brought up. Haven't seen him all year long, but with Tony and Grimes and Copeland out, he's getting playing time.
Good route, good timing. Kyle Trask to the freshman Frazier's. His offense all of a sudden got a little rhythm.
4 yards there. Second and 6. Trask looking over options, and then he's taken down. And it was Isaiah Thomas with his 9th sack of the season. Bonita also getting in there.
But it's outstanding coverage down the field. Kyle Trask goes through all of his progressions. Nobody comes open. He can't locate an open receiver. And as you mentioned, Isaiah Thomas, he's been so key to this defense. The MVP, him and Nick Benito with a big play.
3rd down and 9. For the fumble recovery, what can they do with it? Trask backpedaling and throws it short and low and incomplete, looking for Campbell. Once again, pressure being applied by Ronnie Perkins.
It's Ronnie Perkins, it's Nick Benito. It's two of the best guys that they have. You'll see him come off the edge here. Ronnie Perkins unblocked, nice stiff arm. Nick Benito in his face. A nice stop for Alex Grinch's defense.
So Evan McPherson trots out there. Currently #1 all-time in SEC history in field goal percentage at 86%. Made this a 35-yard attempt. And they take the fumble recovery and turn it into a quick 3. Looks a little different now, doesn't it, folks? More the way you want your New Year's 6 Bowl to look. Just a 4-point game here in a Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
Food and football.
This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, All-State, for that. 17-13. Florida has found a little something. Defense doing their job. The offense getting on the board. This is Rambo from the goal line. And Rambo with a good return as he turns the corner out near the 40-yard line. That is where Rattler and company will start. Trask and Jones trying to get their Gators all the way back against the Sooners. Take a short break. We'll be right back.
The super big 85-inch Sam's
drink of Fansville.
Oklahoma was up 17-zip. It's now 17-13. Dusty, this team, this Oklahoma team, we mentioned fast starts. First quarter point per game differential of nearly 12. That's the best in 8 years in the sport. Wow. But it doesn't always hold up for the Sooners. They end up playing tight games. They were up 17-zip right here 11 days ago against Iowa State. That was tightly played to the wire.
It's interesting. They take their foot off the gas, and I think we've got to give the Florida defense a ton of credit. Todd Grantham was frustrated. He was in his player's face, and the last 3 possessions, they've created 2 takeaways and forced a punt. They have responded to their defensive coordinator.
See what they can do here as he goes to Seth McGowan. McGowan's got plenty of green space ahead of him as he goes past midfield. Steiner finally forces him out. So for Spencer Rattler, That is his first completion since the first drive of the game.
It's an excellent setup to McGowan out in the flats. Man-to-man coverage. Linebacker couldn't go over the top in a big pickup.
Rattler trying to extend the play as he's being chased down and then taken down. Now they go the last 3 drives of fumble, punt, fumble. Just saw Lloyd Summerall racing down Spencer Rattler.
Pass rush starting to get home. It was Chris Bogle with the pressure from one side, flushing Rattler out, and then Summerall with excellent speed chasing Rattler out to the sidelines. Pass rush starting to pick up for Florida.
Second 14, and as he goes quickly to Stoops. Ball is out, and Stoops was able to fall on it. Drake Stoops, the 5'9", 190-pound sophomore, the son of the legendary coach Bob Stoops. Young man who had one of the most memorable moments of the season, the game-winning touchdown catch in the Red River rivalry game.
Well, it's an excellent adjustment on the football, reaching out behind him and catching the ball. And James Houston rips that ball out. Drake Stoops smartly jumps on top to avoid yet a third first-half fumble.
3rd down and 4. Pressure up the middle. They pick it up. Shallow cross. This is Weiss and Theo Weiss inside the 10. And the Sooners come right back with that 36-yard touchdown. Theo Weiss.
That's the response Lincoln Riley was hoping for from his offense. I think Dan Mullen is looking for a pick. Crossing routes across the middle help free up Theo Weiss. Florida's in man-to-man coverage. Weiss comes clean. Rattler puts it out in front, and the speed of Weiss gets to the end zone.
Second touchdown of this Cotton Bowl for Spencer Rattler.
Okay, so we're going to have man-to-man coverage here, and as we're going to see, just a shallow crosser. But watch these guys come across here. They're going to essentially set a pick and not allow the defender to stay and run with Theo Weiss. That's what Dan Mullen was looking for. It's a good play design, helps free up the wide receiver, and excellent speed in the open field from Theo Weiss.
You know, listen, we've been dealing with this in college football for years. What do you know? You call it a rub, you would call it a pick. How do you listen? John Perry, when you're officiating a game, what is that threshold that you're looking for?
You know, go to use basketball, block, charge. If you get those feet set, then you've got a charging situation. So it would be on the defense. If you don't have your feet set and you're making contact, it's on the offense. In this situation, the ball is thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage. No foul.
I like Perry.
He's good.
It's nice and digestible.
That was
nice
good. Educate. Like that.
4:08 until halftime. It's an 11-point game. Sort of let it go into the end zone. Spencer Rattler, 116 passing yards, a couple of touchdowns. So the last drive, so they get on the board. It's a strange second quarter. It's a fumble, punt, fumble, and then they come up with that. Meanwhile, they start off the game with a touchdown drive and then the pick six. They had the field goal and they were up 17-7.
A little surprised we haven't seen Emory Jones again yet. The lone touchdown drive of tonight, that 16-play clock-chewing drive from Emory Jones. Last time we saw him. Kyle Trask here again.
Here's Trask, national leader in touchdown passes, as he'll check down to Wright. And Wright will take that 9 yards. There is Emory Jones. Jones has 31 yards rushing and the touchdown run for the Gators. Second and 1. And Wright, good burst of speed. Naquan Wright. Pass midfield for the Gators. Now they're looking to respond here. 26 yards from Wright.
The vision from Naquan Wright. He sees this hole open up, accelerates through, and a big pickup. The second quarter, the ability for Florida to establish the line of scrimmage and run the football has really helped keep them in this ball game.
Here's Trask on first down. And that was batted away. Good work from DJ Graham, the true freshman corner. Remember, Trey Brown, their star cornerback, opted out early. He announced that he would forego this game 2 days after the Big 12 championship. So an opportunity for DJ Graham to show his stuff.
Good length, athletic, true freshman with huge upside, outstanding play on first down.
Down toss. Incomplete. Rick Wells couldn't secure it. Bradley Hiles on the coverage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
See what Alex Grinch wants to do here. 3rd and long situation. Doesn't want to bring added pressure. Guessing he's just going to rush forward, drop 7 into coverage.
3rd down and 10. That is incomplete when he had a wide open Zipperer who couldn't come up with the catch.
Unfortunate there, Joe. Excellent read by Kyle Trask. Got exactly what he wanted on the post. Ball is out of his hand as Zipperer is making his break, and he just drops it.
And this is going to be a monstrous field goal attempt from McPherson. They are spotting this to what would be a 58-yarder. He's got a career-long 55-yarder. He has 5 career 50-plus yarders made. McPherson from 58. And it comes up short. And Florida comes away empty after they had a big run. 60 yards in 4 plays, and they come away empty. Time now for our countdown to CFP National Championship presented by AT&T as we get you set for what will be the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One.
Well, they've got so much talent in this offense, and you better get to Mac Jones because you can only cover these wide receivers for so long as we see Devontae Smith come open and stroll into the end zone. This is what Notre Dame wants to do. They want to bring pressure, as we'll see here, the first matchup against Clemson. They get the ball out of his hand very quickly and don't allow those routes to come open. Going to be such a key. Can Notre Dame, can they get the pressure on Mac Jones needed to slow down that offensive passing attack?
There's Bridges trying to spin free. Trajan Bridges, the sophomore who was suspended for the regular season, then finally cleared to play in the Big 12 championship. 2.5 minutes to go here. A strange first half. Oklahoma come out, burst out 17-0. Trask with the 3 interceptions, and then Florida comes back, gets themselves in position. Then Rattler moments ago to Weiss, and now can he find something before halftime? They're already past midfield with Bridges.
RPO, get those second-level linebackers up. Middle of the field is wide open. And Trajan Bridges, you just mentioned, back in the Big 12 championship game, might be the most talented of all the Oklahoma wide receivers. A couple of grabs here late in the first half.
Big statement when you consider the year that Mims had, but that is how he is viewed. After the 20-yard completion to Bridges. First down now, they'll keep it on the ground with Stevenson. And Stevenson, nice spin move against Elam on the outside. Brad Stewart was able to make the tackle. 4 yards for Stevenson.
Oklahoma going to put their foot on the gas. Hurry up. Get this play off.
Rattler. Second down, drifting back. Lofts it downfield. Had a man wide open. As you can see, Charleston Rambo stumbling to the ground, knowing it was a missed opportunity.
Just overshot Charleston Rambo. Spencer Rattler puts a lot of air underneath that football, try to allow the speedster to run underneath it just a little bit too far. Austin Stogner in the game now.
Stogner, the big 6'6" tight end.
Third down weapon when he was healthy.
They're showing edge pressure.
False start offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Marvin Mims, not the typical night we have seen out of him this year. Did have the one catch early on that got them on the board, but then he's been quiet since. Third down and 11. Stevenson on the ground on 3rd and 11, and he's going to go for 11 and a half. 2 timeouts remaining. First down stops it with 1:07 as Lincoln Riley plots things out here. Rattler on first down, being chased. Bogle stumbling to try to get to him, and Rattler will tuck and run and be right at that line to gain, out of bounds, stopping the clock with 51 ticks before halftime.
Smart play by Spencer Rattler. Chris Bogle, he's working on true freshman Anton Harrison off the left side. He's starting to come clean, but no pressure from the other side. No one keeping contained. Good coverage down the field, and Rattler, nice pickup, and he gets out of bounds.
Shifts out, he looks that way, comes back to the middle, and in doing so, finds a wide open Austin Stogner. A flag is down. Well mapped out play by the Sooners, and we'll check on the flag here. We've got a Pac-12 crew leading the way tonight. Chris Coit is the referee.
Illegal substitution defense, 12 players on the field. The penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
The result of the play is a 12-yard reception by Stogner. And now Todd Grantham, you see him looking on concerned. His defense met the challenge when he got in their faces earlier tonight. But right here towards the end of this second quarter, Rattler and the Sooners are getting going. Can they cap it now? 1st and goal.
An area where Jeremiah Hall, a big weapon for this Oklahoma offense in the red zone.
Stevenson. Blockers in front. Stevenson down to the 1-yard line. He had some Mack trucks plowing the way there, and then Bernie was able to get to him.
It's that counter once again, bread and butter. Hayes, Harrison out the front.
Quick to the line, 2nd and goal. Rattler pulls it, spins his way in. Spencer Rattler. An offense that came out so hot. Then all of a sudden, they struggled after that first drive. And now here before halftime, Rattler has put them into gear.
Well, it's an outstanding read by Spencer Rattler. Andrew Chatfield, watch as he comes down inside, and you'll see Spencer Rattler make the read. It's a give read, and he rolls into the end zone and makes it 6. As Chatfield worked down, it's great vision by Rattler. Identifies it, knows he can get to the edge, knows he can get to the end zone, and caps off a quality drive for the Sooners.
Look at those eyes on Spencer Rattler. Folks, you're going to be hearing this name for a long time. Everybody who followed recruiting and what was happening out at Pinnacle High in Phoenix knew all about him. And then he came in this great run that they've had of all the Heisman quarterbacks who make it to the front row, from Baker to Kyler, Jalen Hurts, and all the success that Lincoln Riley has had during his 5 years as both the offensive coordinator and the head coach, and now the homegrown one, Spencer Rattler, the guy who's going to have the long run and the long ride. Sensational season as a redshirt freshman. And he's been at his best, Dusty, in the first halves of games. Came in with 25 touchdown passes on the year, 16 of them in the first half. Shorter put to duty as a kickoff return man tonight. The coverage unit able to get to him. That first half of Spencer Rattler tonight, thus 31-13, my man.
Showing a little bit of everything here tonight. Here's early on to Marvin Mims, the outstanding touch where only his guy can get it. This is an easy throw, put it out in front. Good blocking down the field by the Oklahoma defensive backs. And cap it off a little bit of run. Physical finish into the end zone. Dancing and enjoying the moment here on the big stage. The growth and maturity that we've seen from Spencer Rattler this year, extremely impressive for the freshman quarterback.
Pierce taken down here in the final seconds of this first half. What a wild first half, wasn't it? Whew. Oklahoma scores the first 17 points. Florida scores the next 13 points, and the way they do it, too, I mean, they're platooning quarterbacks. We had Trask and Jones coming in and out on the very same drive. Flag is down here with a second left on that.
After the play ended, personal foul, offense, number 72, half the distance to the goal, second down.
Florida comes back to get to 13 points. We saw Emory Jones do it with the long, sustained drive that they had to have, and then he caps it with the touchdown. Trask comes back in, but then Rattler, his last couple drives for Oklahoma, and the quick strike nature, right? 4 plays, they go under 2 minutes. He hits Weiss for the 36-yarder, and then 2.5 minutes, they come down 60 yards. He puts it in from a yard out, and all of a sudden we go from 17-13, where you feel like Florida's tightening down defensively, to having a deal with Oklahoma, and this is what the flag came in for.
Sportsmanship there by Dameon Pierce. Forsythe got hit with a personal foul.
He told me walking downfield on
Dan Mullen having an exchange with this Pac-12 crew.
He's pleading his case.
First time he's ever coached here at AT&T Stadium.
Okay. Because the foul occurred with under a minute and the game clock running, it's subject to a 10-second subtraction. Please reset the game clock to 0. That's the end of the half.
Double zeros on the board here at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Spencer Rattler, 2 touchdown passes, the touchdown run. Nightmare first quarter for Kyle Trask, throwing 3 interceptions. And the Sooners, the Big 12 champs, up 31-13 as we come to halftime here at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
There's still a few things Americans
open at fairwayford.com.
Big number 1. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame. The college football playoff semifinals, New Year's Day on ESPN.
We've got the New Year's 6 bowls underway as you're watching the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic from here at AT&T Stadium. Look at that view from across the way. Joe Tessitore, Dusty Dvorak, and Holly Rowe with you as Oklahoma's on top of Florida 31-13. 6th ranked team in the country, Big 12 champs. Spencer Rattler, a couple touchdowns just before halftime, and the touchdown pass, the touchdown run. He started off the game, did the star quarterback Rattler on the opening drive. Dusty had 52 yards, had the touchdown to Marvin Mims. Then 4 straight incompletions, went over 22 minutes of game time without a completion, and then found that rally late.
Well, I thought that Oklahoma's ability to run the football, Ramondre Stevenson was in beast mode in the first half. 11 carries, 97 yards, almost 9 yards a clip. That set up a lot of things, throwing the football, spins around, they're getting it done via the air and the ground. And how about this Sooner defense? We talked about it coming in. 3 early takeaways, tight coverage down the field. Things went according to plan for Lincoln Riley in the first half against the Gators.
The Gators offense.
Free kick, fair catch.
You brought it
down,
up.
25-yard
Rattler. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've seen Trask, the Heisman finalist, the star quarterback, who's getting set to come out here, and we've seen Emory Jones, the big recruit, who many feel is the future of the program, and the offense more efficient, more productive with Jones so far tonight. Trask has 35 plays, Jones 16. Jones had the long scoring drive, had the touchdown run. He's going for 6.8 yards per play.
We'll see how much we see him here in the second half. I think this opening drive, Joe, is extremely important if Florida has some production.
Trask, sprint right, shows the arm to the outside. Diving effort from Rick Wells. Holly.
Guys, obviously the first half didn't go how Kyle Trask would have liked. But keep in mind, after that SEC championship game, they let their kids go home for Christmas. When they came back, they've only had 3 practices together as a unit with this new wide receiving group and all these new pieces around Kyle Trask. That's a big reason they're trying to settle in and get that timing right here in this game.
Timing critical. Connects for 12 yards there, then lofts it, and that could have been intercepted. Woody Washington made a play on the ball and then was falling on his backside as he had a chance for an interception.
Extremely well played by the redshirt freshman Woody Washington. He plays the running back in the flats, continues to get depth, makes an athletic play, reaching up, deflecting the pass, and almost coming down with his second interception of the night.
Second and 10. Trask is going to check down to Pierce, and Pierce is forced out at about the 39-yard line by Asamoah. Wow, that's what Florida's been able to do in the third quarter games this season. Scoring points 124-41. Find themselves with a 3rd and 8. Against this vastly improved Oklahoma defense. 3rd and 8 for Trask. 4-man rush. Brings it back down. Launches downfield. And incomplete. No flag. As he was trying to get it to Justin Shorter. Top 4 targets not in action tonight for Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask wanted to take his shot. He had the 6'5" wide receiver. Shorter's got good position on the football. A little bit of a push there by Trey Norwood as Shorter goes up to get the football, unable to bring it in. This opening drive comes up empty for the Gators.
Finn on to punt away. Senior from the Paxson School. Jacksonville, Florida. His first season as the starting punter. The Townsend brothers for so long. Flag is down all the way back.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
As he'll back up Finn. Headsets on for Trask. Spectacular through 11 games. 8th highest touchdown of 8th highest total of touchdown passes in 11 games in FBS history. Then what has been a struggle so far tonight. On January 5th, we will have the virtual ceremony of the Heisman Trophy. Chris Fowler will lead the way. Devontae Smith, the outstanding receiver, is right now the odds-on favorite to take the 25 pounds of bronze. Had a visit with Devontae today as we're preparing for the broadcast on Friday. It's interesting to hear Matt Jones and Devontae go back and forth as they get ready beyond this field for the college football playoff semifinals. Number 1 Alabama taking on number 4 Notre Dame in the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One, coming your way 4 p.m. Eastern on New Year's Day. Stevenson patiently utilizing the blocks out to the 12-yard line.
Well, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. They continue to run the counter in these staple runs so far. Offensive lineman getting out in front, patience from Ramondre Stevenson, a nice pickup on first down.
Play action now on 2nd and 4, and Stoops with the reception. And a chain mover for the Sooners. And you hear the Stoops from the fans who have made the drive down. 18,000 allowed with the COVID restrictions here at AT&T Stadium.
Spencer Rattler, so effective and accurate on the move, under pressure, puts that ball out in front where only his receiver can make a play on the football. Well done.
11-yard reception by Drake Stoops. Stevenson already over 100 yards today. He'll be adding to that total as he is out to the 31-yard line. Well, Saturday at 4 Eastern, number 25 Oregon taking on number 10 Iowa State in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. And then an interesting one in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Texas A&M, 5th-ranked team. A lot of people thought perhaps they should have got that 4 spot against UNC. Mac Brown and the Tar Heels in the Capital One Orange Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium.
Look, good matchups there. Can't wait for these games.
2nd and 3, and just a yard that time as Hopper makes the tackle of Stevenson. Tyron Hopper, another one of these younger players, got a lot of redshirt freshmen, a lot of freshmen throughout the defensive 2 deep for Florida. You know all about the headlines that the great pass catchers, right? The guys that you're familiar seeing are opted out, not playing for Florida. Grimes or Tony or Kyle Pitts get ready for the NFL. But you look throughout that defensive 2 deep and you see a lot of names that we're not used to when we call Florida games. 3rd down and 2. Rattler fading back to his own 20 and somehow getting it downfield, but it's incomplete. Stevenson had to wait for it as Carter was coming after Rattler. And they'll be punting away on 4th down.
It's good pressure on Spencer Rattler. Nice wrap by Zachary Carter. As Rattler wanted to roll to his right, Carter was in his face, puts the ball way up in the air. Plenty of time for Trey Dean to show up and give a big hit on Ramondre Stevenson to create the breakout.
So Reeds Munshaw on to punt away. Henderson, freshman receiver, has the punt return duties that he's tasked with tonight. Fair catch off the knuckler at the 26-yard line. See if Florida can close the gap just a little bit. Festive holiday scene in and around AT&T Stadium. More from the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic after this short break. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Bowl 24.
And wasn't it just on December 19th we were watching the Gators? Trask put up 46 against Alabama, and look at the single-season school records. And consider the greats that have played at Florida. Consider who we're talking about when you say single-season records. And now there's Trask looking on as Emory Jones comes in to play quarterback again for the Gators. Had the long drive and the touchdown run earlier. Naquan Wright with a burst off the right side. Is down, and then you see the numbers tonight. You go from those school records, Dusty, to circle those 3.
There is no foul on the play. The contact was ruled illegal. The result of the play is a 1st down.
19-yard run by Wright.
And it's a combination of 2 things, right? Clearly, no Kyle Pitts, no Trayvon Grimes, no Kadarius Toney. I mean, those are all 3 NFL caliber players who have helped aid him in getting those yards. But you also have to give credit to this Oklahoma defense. They have stepped up, they have made plays and made life difficult on Kyle Trask here tonight.
3rd time tonight we have seen the 3rd-string quarterback come onto the field with Jones. Jones runs it himself. Goes for a couple of yards there. So
the runner was ruled down prior to the fumble, 2nd down.
He's come onto the field. Now he sprints off. He's the freshman from back home in Gainesville, was a superstar at each side high school.
Got to think that there's something in tow, right? Later on throughout the course of this game, a double pass, some type of gadget play with both of those guys in the game.
2nd and 8. Jones had defender going up right in that passing lane as he was trying to get it to Zipperer.
That's the length of David Agwebu and what he's able to do that second level. They bring him on the blitz, and he's got that big, those long arms, that big wingspan, gets in the vision of Emory Jones.
3rd down and 8. Defense that has been so salty during the 7-game win streak. And Wright can't find anything at all. David Agwebu.
Just talked about David Agwebu and his length. And he's got the running back, and you see him run and blow up Rick Wells. Fights through the block and gets the TFL on 3rd down. A couple of nice back-to-back plays by the linebacker.
Jeremy Crawshaw is the new punter for Florida. 6'4" freshman from Australia. As Mims, the return man, calling from the fair catch at about the 11-yard line. So Jones didn't do much better, and now Rattler's going to have the ball back in his hands, up 31-13 when we return to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
Profile.
The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. And Taco Bell's Nacho Fries.
Now that's a boot, Dusty. Everything's bigger in Texas. I got the big boot. Holiday spirit here. Florida, 3rd straight year that they're playing in a New Year's 6 bowl. They've run into an Oklahoma team that, listen, folks, if you gave up on Oklahoma when they were sitting there at 1-2, if you said, what does it matter, not going to be in the CFP4, they had a stretch, and they just kept getting better and better right through that Big 12 championship. And now look at what they're doing to Florida, a team that's well gutted when it comes to opt-outs. Told you in the range of about 59 scholarship players for Florida, and really missing a lot when it comes to the offensive playmakers. Rattler out of the backfield is McGowan, and McGowan is tracked down from Amari Burney. All right, so in terms of opting out, and we've seen this trend this week. Now, I understand, you got COVID, it's been that kind of year, but Mac Brown said, listen, I want to see the expansion of the playoff because, as we'll get to this play here with McGowan as he breaks a big one. Seth McGowan. Can they track him down? Finally, they do near the 10. Donovan Steiner, and a flag is down.
I think a horse collar there at the end, Joe.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 13. Half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
73-yard run by McGowan.
And it's outstanding blocking on the edge. You see big 59, Adrian Ely, Creed Humphrey, Tyrese Robinson all help secure blocks and open up a big 73-yard run for Seth McGowan. This rushing attack of Oklahoma, they've really been the story offensively. Their ability to win the line of scrimmage and run the ball at will has been really impressive against this Gator defense.
1st and goal. And Stevenson in as the back next to Rattler. Rattler pulls it, had a man right in his face. We don't do bounce passes in this game, Mr. Mims.
Forward and incomplete, 2nd down.
That is incomplete as Brenton Cox was right in the face of Rattler. 73-yarder by Seth McGowan, who's from right nearby in Dallas. Was a sensation at Mesquite Petit, went for over 3,700 yards, 45 touchdowns as a star high school player in DFW area before he went to OU.
Extremely talented. He was a big key factor before Andre Stevenson got back with this ball club, making his impact felt here tonight, both on the ground and catching the ball.
2nd and goal, Stevenson to the edge, into the end zone. Flag is down back at the 5-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 52, 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
They're going to walk it back. That's Tyrese Robinson, the right guard.
trying to plead his case, but to no avail from the official.
Stevenson in the backfield here. It's 2nd and goal all the way back to the 15-yard line. And going back inside the 5 to Jeremiah Hall. And it'll be 3rd and goal.
That's what gets set up when you run the football so effectively. Play action pass, and that's Jeremiah Hall, who's the H-back. He's a fullback, fakes the block on the linebacker, comes wide open in the middle of the field, and Spencer Rattler locates his target.
He's their Dimitri Flowers type. They've often utilized that kind of player in that position. 3rd and goal for Oklahoma. Rattler looking left. Batted and incomplete. Bogle got up and denied it.
Good athleticism by Chris Bogle on the edge, shuts his rush down as he sees Spencer Rattler trying to find Stevenson in the flats, gets that right hand up and knocks the ball down. Well played by Chris Bogle. He's been all over the field tonight for this Gator defense.
So what was a 1st and goal, then the penalty, pushed back, turns in to a Burkich 20-yard attempt. And he puts it through. And Oklahoma extends their lead to 21 points. 73-yard run by that guy, Seth McGowan.
With a top-rated app that lets you deposit.
Hey, Florida's trailing by 21, and they're greatly impacted by opt-outs. Star players not playing. UNC head coach Matt Brown said this recently. He said, listen, I want to see the expansion of the playoff system because since we have the playoffs, you don't have the emphasis in the bowl games. We're seeing a lot of guys opt out throughout the year for the bowl games. He says, put it to 6 or 8 because what we've learned is, Dusty, nobody opts out of the playoffs. So sort of forces your hand as to where college football is right now. That if you expand the playoffs, you're going to get more participation. But here's the problem. Listen, I love the
free
bowls.
kick, fair
I
catch,
love the great
25-yard
tradition.
line, first down.
But when you got these great games, I understand COVID's playing a role this year. But it was only a few years ago we were reacting when somebody like Christian McCaffrey opts out. What's going on? What's happening in the sport? Now it's commonplace. We're devaluing the bigger bowl games. We're devaluing other bowl games, not the playoffs.
The reality is, well, yeah, I think expansion for a multitude of reasons. This is one of them. I'd like to see an expansion regardless, but you're going to have to find ways to continue to incentivize players to want to play throughout the course of the season. Not that I love that, but that's just the reality of where players' mindsets are today. Once they're out of a season, once they have no chance to compete for a championship of any kind, we're seeing players opt out.
Emory Jones, first down, a little bit of pressure, goes downfield and off the fingertips of Justin Shorter.
Now, the one question I would have, and I thought Dan Mullen, we asked him about this a couple of days ago, was a great point he made. Is this because of COVID this year? Because it is so different. These aren't real, similar bowls where you're going in and you're spending a week in a city and you're getting gifts and all the things that come with a bowl game. Is this a COVID year we're seeing all the opt-outs, or is this a sign of things to come? Time will tell.
Davis breaking tackles and getting free. Malik Davis with a strong run there for the Gators. Holly, you had the chance to spend some time with the Gators AD, Scott Strickland. What did he say about this?
That's right, and keep in mind, he's just rotating off of the College Football Playoff Committee, and he said we have got to add value back into the postseason that goes beyond just the college football playoffs. So I think that was a great point by AD Scott Strickland. Both he and Joe Castiglione of Oklahoma are just rotating off their turn.
There's Jones. Jones making the most of it for a few yards. There's Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC. Here to see the team that gave such a great fight in that championship game against Alabama. Of course, Greg has been an outstanding leader in the sport this year when the sport has needed to have strong leadership. You know, he would be at the forefront of many of the discussions when it comes to potential playoff expansion and how the sport will move forward. Keep in mind the major changes affecting the sport with name, image, and likeness. So when you talk about incentivizing things, incentivizing a postseason, that could come into play.
That should help, right? I mean, that should be a key component that's going to help guys continue to stay invested. You know, I've heard all kinds of things. Maybe bowls, you know, they start to be able to pay players to play in their bowl games. You know,
marketing opportunities.
Exactly, marketing opportunities with name, image, and likeness. And maybe that's something that continues to keep guys invested and wanting to show up and play.
This Florida team, a roster hollowed out without their 4 top pass catchers. 3rd down and 6 for Jones, and that was low and incomplete. A little bit of traffic up front with Nick Bonito for the Sooners playing that rush end position, as Gamble was the intended target for Emory Jones.
Nick Bonito has really been going to work on Stone Forsyth on the left side of the Florida offensive line. A lot of inside moves, getting that pressure right in the quarterback's face. Really nice job here tonight by number 11, second-team AP All-American. He's been their best edge rusher all season, and he's shown up often here in the Cotton Bowl.
Jacob Finn. Nose down punt, end over end, fair catch. Mims at the 12-yard line. Over 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Florida's offense struggling here in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic second half.
This is wherever we go together.
Hey, Dusty, nothing stays the same in college football, right? You know, always railing on the Big 12 defense. They don't play defense. And now all of a sudden they're second in yards allowed. To see a better defense, Oklahoma specifically. And then the SEC, where now the offenses have changed a little bit in the SEC. And now the defensive numbers aren't quite as good in the SEC.
I like that word there, juxtaposition. It's fascinating, isn't it, Joe? Because it used to be there's no defense in the Big 12.
Stevenson breaks free, and here goes Ramondre Stevenson. We saw McGowan go for 73 yards moments ago, and now Ramondre Stevenson, the big back at nearly 250 pounds, he goes for 49 yards here.
Sooners continue to gash Florida on the ground. Bill Bedenbaugh, offensive line coach, is going to be very happy. Excellent job by Hayes, kicking out, as well as Anton Harrison. Big gaping hole for Ramondre Stevenson.
He's got 161 yards tonight. Pressure off the edge. Could be offside here, so a free shot for Rattler as it goes beyond Mims. So the flag there is
offside in the neutral zone at the snap. Defense number 15. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
You know, previously everybody just pointed to the Big 12, played no defense. They didn't acknowledge the offensive minds, quarterback play, how good the offenses were. But it's fascinating now in the SEC, and they've got fantastic defensive personnel. But look at the offensive coaching staffs that are now in the SEC. Look at the personnel, the quarterback play. It's leveled up. We don't hear that it's bad defense. We hear it's just good offense. It's interesting, the dichotomy between the two leagues and how we view them and how we talk about, is it bad defense or is it good offense? And I thought Nick Saban had the best point earlier this season. He said college football has changed. You no longer win with great defense because good offense beats good defense.
Isn't it fascinating too? Just you think about why is Nick Saban a great coach? The ability to adapt, and this is a year about adapting. Rattler, he gets free and he'll run for a first down. Holly, you and I were on a call with Coach Saban earlier today, and he talked about adapting. He was talking about recruiting, but that was a big part of his theme as to why he feels his program has had success this year, the ability to adapt.
Well, that's right. It's because they signed the top recruiting class in the country, and he said he had to adapt with different Zoom calls and how to communicate players during a pandemic. He said, I've talked to more kids than I ever have before, but he had the quote of 2020 in my mind, adapt or die. The dinosaurs didn't adapt, and we don't see them anymore. Nick Saban, thank you for that gem.
We will see Coach Saban right here on this field come New Year's Day against Notre Dame. Marcus Major with the carry here as he gets to the 15-yard line. Of course, number 1 Alabama, number 4 Notre Dame. It is a Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One at 4 Eastern. Middle of that Florida defense. They don't have Marlon Dunlop, Kyrie Campbell. Some young guys rotating in with that defensive line there. 2nd and 2. Stevenson on the outside. The block from Stogner, pushes ahead, kept his balance, dances his way in. Every which way. Ramondre Stevenson. Tiny steps, big gains, big score.
Big body, tough runner, and you're not going to bring him down with arm tackles. Looks like a tired Gator defense here in the second half as they continue to go back to the well.
Looks like the ladder drill here, Dusty.
Oh, no question. Watch the footwork, the determination, and nobody gets a good shot on him. As he hits the brakes, they fly right by, and he keeps working his way into the end zone. What a night for Ramondre Stevenson.
Those are the kind of plays we appreciate. Yeah, I know 6 foot and 250 pounds, but when you say balance, when you say lower body strength, quick feet, that's what it's all about right there.
Escape the craziness. Natural fries are back. Run to Taco Bell.
41-13. Only the second time that these two blue blood programs have met up. Far different than the first game, right? First game BCS National Championship in January of 09. Bradford, Tebow, Percy Harvin, and that thriller in Miami. Gators won 24-14 here. A Gators team with, you know, a superstar quarterback, but a lot of new faces out there on the field. Trask struggled early. Oklahoma then found the rhythm again before halftime, and it's been all boomer sooner.
297 now on the ground, Joe. This Oklahoma rushing attack, just running the ball at will on Florida here throughout this game.
Right on the return. Chance to go down and visit with Holly.
Well, guys, Ramondre Stevenson is going off. Remember, he did not get a play in the bowl game last year in that playoff game after a 6-game suspension. He missed the first 5 games of this season, but he stayed in shape. I spoke with the strength and conditioning coach, Benny Wiley, for Oklahoma, and he said he came in and said, Coach, I have to be ready when the suspension is over. He did assault bite work, Stairmaster work. He did extra cardio every single day, and he literally hit the ground running. This young man has a decision to make in the future. If he goes pro after this season, he's definitely made a mark.
17 attempts for 179 yards. Pierce breaks the first tackle, breaks the second tackle before he is knocked out of bounds. You really consider a flag is down on that near side, but you consider who wasn't around early on. The key suspensions, you know, Stevenson.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense number 88. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
You see what Stevenson can do. You see how valuable he is. And then on the other side, defensively, I mean, Ronnie Perkins, headline maker. Imagine if they had the full roster earlier this season. If there was an understanding and a normal start to the year, what could have been for this Oklahoma team.
And there's a lot of people that think the way that they played at the end of the year, one of the best 4 teams in college football. So it's a great point you make. You could argue those are the 2 best players offensively and defensively on this Oklahoma football team. And once they got those guys back, they have been at a different level as a team and just clearly impact every piece of this Oklahoma football team.
You tell me, my man. You tell me. Listen, I understand the 2 losses earlier, but in terms of how this team's playing, what you would want to see on the field, this team among those 4, roll the dice, see how it would be, what it would look like.
I mean, yeah, but I hear what you're saying. And this is why I would like to see.
I didn't say they earned it.
I'm just saying, but then you look at a Texas A&M team,
right?
You know what I mean? Who put together a quality 8-1 season, an all SEC schedule, beat this Florida Gator team when they were at full strength earlier in the season. So that gets dicey and tough. Do I think Oklahoma could compete with Notre Dame, potentially beat them? Absolutely. But you know what you did on the field and what your resume is, I think that has to matter.
There's no doubt. Hey, I'm not making the argument for it. I'm just saying the way this team's playing right now, how much would you like to see them get a shot.
No doubt.
And then we get back to that old expansion conversation going. What would happen if we were at 8? What would happen if we were at 6? And a team like this that's playing better ball as the year goes on gets their at-bat.
And I'd like, you win your conference championship, you get an opportunity to compete for the national championship, right? I mean, I think that's another way to, make the conference championship games matter that much more.
4th down and 1, and Jones will have it and a lot more as he strides his way inside the 20-yard line. Gives a little something Pat Fields, the safety.
Emory Jones running the football has been one of the most effective aspects of this Gator offense here tonight. Quality hole off the right side. You see the acceleration from Emory Jones.
Richardson in the game as well. We've seen this personnel group multiple times with both quarterbacks. You see number 2
timeout
out there
Oklahoma,
to the top
their
of your
first
screen.
of the half, 30 seconds.
Dusty, we're getting set for New Year's Day. College football playoff. Clemson and Ohio State will dance that dance in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
I can't wait for this matchup, man. It's going to be so good. And here's the thing with these Clemson wide receivers. You want to go up the line of scrimmage, you want to press them, you better get to Trevor Lawrence quickly, because if not, a guy like Amari Rodgers is going to make you pay with the big shot down the field. And Ohio State, they found something with the former Oklahoma running back, Trey Sermon. How about Wyatt Davis and company up front being physical? And you'll see here, they influence the defensive end up. One cut by Trey Sermon makes a couple of guys miss, and it's off to the races as he had himself a ball game in the Big Ten Championship with over 300 yards on the ground. I can't wait for this matchup. A lot of trash talking, a little bit of rivalry. It's going to be fun.
Here's Jones on 1st down as Davis gets it out of the backfield, spins his way inside the 10. Now, there was news today concerning that game, the college football playoff semifinal that we'll see at the All-State Sugar Bowl, and that's that Clemson will be without their play caller. Tony Elliott, longtime offensive coordinator, he tested positive for COVID-19. How much does that concern you?
I mean, it has to concern me quite a bit. I mean, he's done an excellent job calling the plays, but as long as Trevor Lawrence is still there, Joe, I think that offense is going to function just fine.
Davis, right at that line to Kane before he was tackled by John Michael Terry. Elliott's been the play caller for 6 years with Clemson. They won't have him available come Friday against Ohio State. Of course, Ohio State trying to avenge things from a year ago in the postseason. It's been a great source of motivation. Jones, design quarterback run, cannot spin away from Ronnie Perkins. The athleticism and pursuit of Perkins, and Jones had no chance.
What's about pad leverage, and he's going to split a double team. Watch him work right here. He's going to split this double team, square back up, and make this play. Splits the double team, knocks off the puller, and makes the play. That's a quality individual effort by Ronnie Perkins.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Oklahoma, 3 straight college football playoff appearances that look nothing like this. Get their chance to come out here and make a statement as to where they are and where they're headed. We're headed to the 4th quarter, and it's all Sooners.
eBay. Authenticity guaranteed.
What's a contrasted mindset on the various sidelines here tonight? You see Lincoln Riley laser focused with his players, and Florida kind of aimlessly walking down the field, getting ready to start this 4th quarter. We'll see if they can punch it in.
Emory Jones, future of the program at quarterback, redshirt sophomore from Georgia. Running option here on the pitch to Pierce, and Pierce is met and sent out of bounds. DJ Graham coming from that corner spot.
Physical football game for this Oklahoma defense here so far. is they have lived up to the billing. We talked in the onset about the improvements made on that side of the ball. It's come to fruition here tonight.
What a change from recent years. 3rd and goal. Jones with time goes underneath. A flag is down as Pat Fields came in hard that time on Naquan Wright at the 3-yard line. Here's Pat, who had his first career interception right here in the Big 12 championship game.
The pass is complete. Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 10. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down. The play is under review.
There's a targeting call right there. Let's bring in John Perry for a moment. Well, we'll figure it out with our rules expert after this short break.
Chris Fowler here, Dos Equis new 4x4.
Start your design today at CustomInk.com.
Mr. John Perry, they did pick up this flag for targeting.
They did. They got to get all 3 of the categories to enforce that targeting issue. And in my opinion, it's a good pickup. I just don't see it as a complete lower lead aim attack with the crown of the helmet.
Here's a 4th and goal now for the Gators. Jones, and taken down was Wells by Asamoah. He had an interception earlier, and he comes up with the tackle there on 4th and goal.
Instinctive play by Brian Asamoah. Athleticism, twitchiness, and the Oklahoma defense bows its neck and keeps Florida out of the end zone once again.
The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. AT&T 5G. Allstate, you've never been in better hands. And Bolt 24, real advanced hydration from the makers of Gatorade.
The start of the New Year's Six Bowls, and what a start it was for Oklahoma's defense with 3 interceptions of Heisman finalist Kyle Trask in the first quarter. Now, Dusty, Kyle Trask without a touchdown pass. He's without a touchdown pass in a start for the first time in his career. And he's had at least 2 passing touchdowns in all but 1 of his career starts before today. Stevenson, he has had a huge night running the ball for Oklahoma. But Trask sitting there, and you think about it, he's just not used to these kind of evenings.
It doesn't happen, right? I mean, this guy was unbelievably prolific throughout the course of the season, clearly missing his weapons, but I think also this Oklahoma defense, as advertised, what Alex Grinch has done, the way these guys have played down the stretch, been extremely impressive to watch.
Rattler trying to connect with Weiss there with a touchdown pass earlier. You know, you mentioned Alex Grinch and his defense, what they were able to do to that guy there, Trask, as he's given away to Emory Jones, a quarterback for Florida. But Grinch was at Ohio State, comes over to Oklahoma, year 2 here, and they give up 346 yards per game. And you go back to 3 previous seasons, they were giving up on average 426 yards per game, and that's what killed them when they got to this stage of the season, to the postseason.
That's why I've been telling you guys, and I've heard several people, Kirk Herbstreit included, mention this is the most complete Oklahoma team we've seen in quite some time, and really sets up the prospects for next season to be one of the absolute best teams in college football.
Here's Seth McGowan. Remember, he went for 73 yards earlier, and now he gets this going. What an explosive playmaker they have in Seth McGowan, the freshman. And he comes up a little bit sore at the end of that run. Seth McGowan had a 73-yard run earlier, and here he goes for 48 yards on that play. And the 73-yarder he had earlier was the 4th longest rushing play that didn't result in a touchdown in Cotton Bowl history.
Watch Tyrese Robinson, 52, the big man getting out in front, getting a block, and getting the safety, Steiner, on the ground. It's a quality run after the catch by Seth McGowan, but I like the big 335-pounder out in front.
Now here is into space with Theo Howard from Rattler. 8 20-plus yard plays for Oklahoma tonight. 8 plays over 20 yards.
Big play offense here tonight for the Sooners. A lot of these have been on the ground.
Did you see that stat line, by the way? I mean, my man's touched the ball 4 times, and he's got 143 yards of offense.
Is that any good?
Pretty good. 2nd and 5.
Likely be the feature back next season.
Rattler able to escape, and Rattler will have the first down, and a heck of a lot more as Rattler then glides down at about the 12-yard line. And he is fired up. As you see his parents, Susan and Michael, it's his sister Olivia there. Big things ahead for Spencer Rattler. This is going to be one of the IT teams going into next year. NFL Wildcard Weekend's coming your way January 9th and 10th. And we got the MegaCast on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ABC. Of course, the matchup, date and time to be determined after Week 17 games. Looking forward to that. First down run. Marcus Major. He can't get loose as Amari Burney makes the tackle.
You mentioned Oklahoma talking about the prospects into next season. Lincoln Riley himself said tonight is a night for building momentum into next season. He even told us they got a chance to be really good. Talking about that defense, likely at least 10 of those starters that we've seen tonight back next year for this Sooner team. And obviously the quarterback who you've alluded to tonight going to be at the very top of most preseason Heisman list, and Spencer Rattler.
Major. A clear path into the end zone. And now this score is going to get real ugly. Flag is down. See if they walk this back. Flag is down at the 10-yard line.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 2nd down.
And Florida's sitting here down by 28 points right now.
Eric Swinson going to pull around here once again. We have the counter. Swinson gets there on Burney, gets that arm around. His close call. Burney trying to shed that block, and the official saw enough to throw the flag. And you were mentioning it. This Florida team, they don't typically get blown out.
No. In the last 30 years, Dusty, Florida's been beaten by more than 30 points only 4 times. Only 4 times in the last 30 years. Back it up the 20-yard line on 2nd and 17. To the end zone and into the hands of Rambo. And Spencer Rattler is still getting after the Gators. That guy had a lot to do with it. Seth McGowan. And the big reception put him in position. And a 97-yard drive in the 4th quarter.
Got it all working here tonight against the Gators, and quality pass there by Spencer Rattler off his back foot, just a little flick of the wrist, and ball put in perfect placement for Charleston Rambo to bring in another touchdown.
20-yard touchdown to Rambo from Rattler. Rattler has 3 touchdown passes on the night. Has that touchdown run too. And has the look of a guy who knows exactly where things are headed in the future, doesn't he? 48-13 in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
Save more on clearance at Target.
Want to stay up to date? Just tell Siri, show me upcoming bowl games.
College football playoff semifinals, New Year's Day on ESPN, and of course on the ESPN app. Number 1 Alabama going to be on the field right here against number 4 Notre Dame in the Rose Bowl, presented by Capital One. That's at 4 o'clock Eastern. Then is the showdown in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Number 2 Clemson, number 3 Ohio State. Got to spend some time today with the folks from Alabama. Coach Saban, Sark, the offensive coordinator, and then Devontae Smith and Mac Jones. A lot of playful banter back and forth. You deserve the Heisman. No, you deserve the Heisman. But listen, the year that Devontae Smith has had, I know he's just named the AP Player of the Year. I think he was the most dynamic player in college football.
I don't get a vote, but if I did, it'd go to him. And I love the fact that a non-quarterback or non-running back position is getting so much praise and so much acclaim. And we'll see if he ultimately wins the award, but I'm with you. So dynamic, so explosive. He's been so much fun to watch this year.
Davis, go ahead for a few. Give me a sense of hope, if there is any, for Notre Dame.
Look, I think they're going to have to be able to establish a run game, because I think the only way, the best way to play defense against Alabama is to keep them on the sidelines. Like, to me, you've got to be able to play ball control. Ian Book's going to have to be able to make some throws and make some plays. But I think time of possession, keeping Mac Jones, keeping Devontae Smith, Najee Harris at bay over on the sidelines, I think that's the best, maybe only defense for what is the best offense in all of college football.
Well, guys, one thing Notre Dame won't do is confuse Mac Jones. When we talked to him on our conference call today, it was really interesting. He has a 4.0. He just graduated with a master's degree as well. And he told us that he has 4 pages of goals that he wrote out when he first got to Alabama with the strength and conditioning coach at the time, Scott Cochran, and his father. He said, I've crossed off a lot of stuff on the 4 pages of goals, but more is still ahead for Mac Jones.
More offensive talent they loaded up on this year. 3rd and 6 for Emory Jones, and that is off the hands of Campbell.
It's been that kind of night for the Gators tonight, Joe. You know, without their star-studded pass catchers, and we've seen several drops throughout the course of the night, and just frustration on a lot of the faces of Florida players.
Listen, they're trailing by 35. Some perspective. We mentioned this last 30 seasons. You don't see blowouts when it comes to Florida. But if this score holds up, it's going to be right there. Only 4 times in the last 30 seasons they have lost by over 30. Rochard to punt. Mims the fair catch. It'll be fun to see Mims next year and all this talent on Oklahoma.
Finally.
Dusty, take me through tonight's Capital One rewarding performance.
Well, there's been several players that have had great performances, but let's go with the quarterback, Spencer Rattler. Early on, dropping dimes to Marvin Mims. Well-designed play. As you see the screen to Weeze, and he gets in the open field. Combined 4 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground.
Marcus Major adding to that total. By the way, Spencer Rattler, his night is done, as Chandler Morris, the freshman from Highland Park nearby here in Dallas, is in the game. Morris had a touchdown run in the Big 12 championship game right here. He's Chad Morris's son, former head coach at Arkansas, who just wrapped up the season as Auburn's play caller. Now headed to the bowl game, Auburn against Northwestern on New Year's Day. Marcus Major again. Paddle overage to Trey Dean. They're playing hard right through this 4th quarter, aren't they?
Physical finish to that run. How about the young fans in attendance tonight, Joe? Even padded up, brought the helmet and everything.
I love it. This guy's got a lot to smile about. He's watching a replay of his teammate Marcus Major getting a kick out of that. Spencer Rattler, 3 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown run tonight. 2nd and 4. Morris quick little pitch and catch to Mikey Henderson. Haven't even said his name. And here's a guy who's got incredible speed. He's got hands. He's an instant impact player. Lincoln Riley said this the other day. He goes, it's going to be fun just to see where he ends up playing, what position, because he could be one of these great H-back tight ends they have. He could be a full-time running back. He's really a jack of all trades, 6'2", 234 pounds. Dynamic playmaker.
Versatility, man. As you just alluded to, he can do a little bit of everything, and I thought he'd have a bigger impact on the game here tonight. But moving forward, Mikey Henderson, name to know in college football.
3rd and 2. And they'll be able to take more clock down as Major will get the first down for the Sooners. College Football Playoff Foundation, the largest sports entity supporting education in America. And this year, college football went big to show support for educators, recognizing the hard work, the long hours, and dedication to their students. ESPN is so proud to continue the support for the CFP Foundation. Together with the conferences, the schools, the bowl games, thousands of teachers directly impacted by that joint effort. For more about Extra Yard for Teachers, follow CFP Extra Yard. On behalf of all of us, we thank those teachers, especially this year. Morris to pass on 1st down. And it's incomplete as he was trying to connect with fellow freshman Trevon West.
Definitely want to thank all the teachers out there. And also just want to say thank you to college football, to all these players, both the players we see on the field here tonight, but all across college football. It has not been easy to make this season go this year. It has been extremely trying, extremely difficult. These players, these coaches have had to sacrifice. And I'll be honest with you, Joe, we needed it, right? I think in this country, we needed college football. And we need to show appreciation and respect for what they've put themselves through so that we can all sit back and enjoy the game of college football that we love so much.
Very well said and very well done by Marcus Major, and add to the blowout. This thing just got real ugly when you look up at the bright lights on the scoreboard. Half a hundo being hung on the Gators. Man, oh man, has it gone south.
And that's the exclamation point. As now Oklahoma over 400 yards rushing in this game here tonight.
Wow. Got the backup quarterback in. We got the backup place kicker in. We got the backup running back for 110 yards. They're getting rolled. A roster is absolutely gutted with opt-outs, and this is what it looks like in the 4th quarter of a game like that. And you can hear the derision with the SEC chant for years and years and years. How many times did Oklahoma, how many times Big 12 and other rival conferences hear that loud tidal wave roar of SEC. And now these Oklahoma fans giving it right back in a deriding tone. And then the chop coming from Rattler. We said it earlier, the kind of night when they wanted to make a statement, but they had to make a statement.
That's exactly right. I mean, coming into this game with as many players as Florida had opting out or injured, just not available, it went from a game that Oklahoma could win or should win to one that they needed not just win, but win impressively. And to their credit, they've done just that here tonight. From the onset, right? With the defense getting takeaways, jumping up early 17-0, Florida fought back. But here in this second half, and really to close the first half, it's been all Sooners.
You know, in boxing, we have a saying, when you get matched up with a certain opponent that you're supposed to knock out, you got to knock them out. This was an opponent that came in hollowed out a bit in Florida. They tried. They gave it their best in that first half, but it gave way. Right on the return. Flag is down at the end of that. And Oklahoma is bringing all kind of juice right to the end of this thing. More Driven Moment is brought to you by Goodyear.
And this might be the last time we see Ramondre Stevenson in a Sooner uniform. He's been so good tonight. Give credit to the big guys up front. Big gaping holes for Ramondre Stevenson. He showed power. He showed balance. Making guys miss. Whoop! And a huge night for number 29 in red.
Missouri back in 1946 had 408 rushing yards against Texas in the Cotton Bowl. That was back in 1946. Oklahoma's got 409 rushing yards right now. If they don't lose another yard, this is the Cotton Bowl record. Damian Pierce with a good run. $55 points on the board for Oklahoma. That is a program record in a bowl game. Think of all the great Oklahoma teams through the years. Anthony Richardson in for Florida. True freshman quarterback. As he lowers his shoulder, he goes 6'4", 234 pounds. He's from East Side High in Gainesville. Big time recruit. And Dusty, you know the kind of quarterback that really fits a Dan Mullen system. Big, physical, like Dak Prescott.
Tim Tebow.
Yep.
Going back to Alex Smith, whenever he had him in Utah. I think that'll be fascinating to see. Emory Jones, I think he's going to be the guy that has a leg up in the race. And I would think that Anthony Richardson's going to have every opportunity coming up in the spring and the offseason to compete for that starting job. And, you know, one thing, no one's getting lost, this is a good Florida football team this year. I mean, you know, we showed the numbers earlier. You know, barely lose to a really good Texas A&M team on the road. You know, oddly lose that LSU game in the fog. It just didn't quite make sense. Played Alabama tougher and better than anyone else in the country has to this point. And they're going to end this season on a 3-game losing streak. I think it's going to get lost just how good of a team and the strides that Dan Mullen continues to make in year number 3 as the Gators head coach.
Lorenzo Lingard with the carry there. Flagstaff News Prize prospect a few years ago. About 4.5 minutes here. Get ready to get Gatorade ready to be Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic champions.
Passing team number 89. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
This stands would be the largest margin of defeat for Florida in the last 30 years. Last 30 years.
Crazy to think, because again, I have the utmost respect. Third time I've had this Florida team this year. It's a good football team. And clearly, as you mentioned, gutted from some of their personnel, but still did not anticipate this type of performance here tonight.
There's only so much you can ask at a certain point. Richardson to pass here on first down. Now he tucks and runs, and you can see how he can accelerate. It's a good run by Anthony Richardson. Had a sensational career at Eastside High School. Went for over 4,600 passing yards. And if you're a big fan of the Netflix series QB1 Beyond the Lights, you'll get a hefty dose of Anthony Richardson. His senior year of high school, he was filmed for that streaming series. Richardson to the end zone and gets the touchdown to Pouncey.
Something to build on in the offseason for the true freshman Anthony Richardson.
Timeout for an injured player of the offense.
His first passing touchdown of his career. Stands strong in the pocket. You see his wide out, gives him the hand signal as he comes open and delivers the pass on target. Well executed, well done by Anthony Richardson here late in this ball game.
Jordan Pouncey with the 27-yard touchdown reception. Countdown to the CFP National Championship presented by AT&T. And come Friday at 8 Eastern, when Clemson takes on Ohio State in the All-State Sugar Bowl. All eyes will be on Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think he's going to win the Heisman, but he's the best player in college football, Joe. I know we talked about Devontae Smith. He's had, I think, the most impressive season of the year, but boy, Trevor Lawrence, since he's been reinserted that team, seems like a man on a mission. What a career he's had there at Clemson.
Chris Howard makes the extra point here. It's back to 35. And the reason I say it's back to 35 because, folks, as of a few moments ago, that score would have been the largest margin of defeat in the last 30 seasons for Florida. Not often that you see it get sideways with the Gators through the years. But this is far different, unique circumstances that we're dealing with and how they came into this game. So much so, and I'll say this, listen, we had a very honest, I felt, conversation with Dan Mullen yesterday. He said there could become a point in the second half of this game where, you know, it could take on the quality of a spring game, the quality of an exhibition, where there's going to be developmental players on the field. He understood what he was dealing with who wasn't suiting up. And, Dusty, had this been the regular season, players want to play. They want to play in a bowl game. Guys want to put a stamp on the season, finish things up, let's go out there and play. This game most likely limitations of who they have from scholarship players.
That's what Coach Mullen told us. Like you said, coaches, players, they wanted to come here. They wanted to come to Arlington and play in the Cotton Bowl.
Compete, they said.
They wanted to compete. They wanted to give opportunities for young guys on a big stage and, you know, get a look and see what the prospects for next year might hold.
What do you think next year holds
25
for Florida, my friend?
I'm anticipating this quarterback battle. You know, I think Emory Jones, again, I think he's going to be the guy that walks in there and you expect he could potentially win the matchup. But, you know, Anthony Richardson, with his size, his athleticism, I think it could be fascinating to see exactly what Dan Mullen might do with one or maybe even both of those quarterbacks. I think that's where it has to start, though, right? Because when you think of Dan Mullen, when you think of his teams, I mean, he is a quarterback guru. As we talked about earlier with Tebow, Alex Smith, Dak. Now what he's been able to do with Kyle Trask. I mean, he's had so much success at that position. It starts at that spot. But I like what he's built here in 3 years. 3 years, 3 New Year's, 6 games. And again, one thing they hadn't done since he got to the SEC championship game this season.
Schaefer in at quarterback. As they're going to be unloading the bench here, Holly.
Well, you keep bringing up Dak Prescott, and so I have kind of a cool little update for you guys. Dak Prescott actually came here before the game and went in and visited with Dan Mullen. He was on crutches in that boot as he comes back from that ankle injury. I think it's really cool that he made time. That's the kind of relationship he has with Dan Mullen and Brian Johnson, guys that helped him out in his college career at Mississippi State. And here he came on crutches and everything. Dak Prescott making an appearance here today to see his good friend Dan Mullen.
And Holly, that high water mark in 2014, Mississippi State, remember he got off that 9-0 start. Mikey Henderson with the carry. We told you he can do it all. Put it in the downfield and play H-back. Remember, stay tuned for live post-game coverage of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic on SportsCenter after the game. Going to be a lot of perspective in terms of the numbers, the history of the route, what they were able to do with the run game. Some of the historical perspective that we've already shared with you.
Timeout for an
55 points,
defense.
a program record for a bowl game for Oklahoma.
And that's with a program that's had far more prolific offenses than this one, Joe. You know, the thing about this Oklahoma team in particular was the balance, you know, that they're, you know, very solid on offense, had really stepped it up, and for the first time in a long time, you could say that you could make the argument that the defense is more impressive than the offense, and they have come out tonight and just absolutely put on a clinic. And, you know, we were talking with Lincoln Riley, and, you know, it was kind of a mixed bag with the offensive line this year. You know, they had a slow start to the season with COVID, and then midway through the season, they kind of hit their stride. And then here tonight, again, we're going to give these running backs a lot of praise, as well we should, but the line of scrimmage was absolutely dominated by the Oklahoma offensive line, and that's what's helped aid a Cotton Bowl record 431 yards on the ground.
431 rushing yards, a Cotton Bowl record. And this is one of the grand games of being, you know, tradition rich with power programs, with some of the best who have ever come through here. You got to go all the way back to 1946 to break that mark. That was Missouri went for 408, 1946. And they shatter that record tonight here against Florida. By the way, it's a great time of the year to just settle in and watch ball nonstop, isn't it? I know we spend so much time talking about the CFP, and Friday afternoon through Friday evening is going to be special with what we get with the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One right here, and then the All-State Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. But I'm very excited for what you're going to be doing, right? New Year's Day at noon. JT Daniels in Georgia against that undefeated Cincinnati team. That should be fascinating. They're stalking Coach Riley. They're stalking. They're hunting their prey here, Dusty.
I think he figured out something was going on. I think he's standing back and tell them to stay away. But no, I appreciate you mentioning that. We do have the Peach Bowl. I can't wait to see Cincinnati. That Georgia football team has been completely different since JT Daniels has taken over a quarterback. And Cincinnati, I think they're looking for respect. Felt that they were a little disrespected after a 9-0 season, and there it is. Lincoln Riley finally gets the bag that he's been waiting for. His first postseason bowl victory since he's been a head coach, and his first win against the SEC, and an impressive fashion here tonight, Joe.
Remember, he was only 33 years old when he got the job. Fourth year as Oklahoma's head coach, and no other Oklahoma coach has as many wins in their fourth year as Lincoln Riley. And they got legends, Wilkerson, Switzer, and Stoops. But here he is, and he gets to taste the victory of a bowl win. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic champions, and they do it in style. Kyle Trask, the Heisman finalist, it went south immediately in the first quarter. 3 interceptions and held without a passing touchdown in a start for the first time in his career. And 55 points, a program record for a bowl game for Oklahoma when they run for 435 yards. 435 rushing yards. That is a Cotton Bowl record. 55-20 the final. Oklahoma takes it. For Holly and Dusty, I'm Joe Tessitore, saying enjoy the rest of your night, including Sports Center coming up right now.
Thanks for watching this special presentation of ESPN, home of the College Football Playoff semifinals on New Year's Day.